This is called a verse essay in 12 rounds concerning the exhibition fight between the Galveston giant, Jack Johnson, and Eva, the Dowager Empress of Iceland, 23rd of April 1916. Begins with 3 quotes. Lena Loy, how can we kill ourselves when we haven't finished talking to each other? Arthur Cravan on Jack Johnson. After Poe, Whitman and Emerson, he is the most glorious American. If there is a revolution here, I shall fight to have him enthroned King of the United States. And the final quote is by William Carlos Williams to Mina Loy about Arthur Cravan. All these pugilists are bunglers in bed. I'm off. Round 1. This is an ode to Arthur Cravan and Jack Johnson, perhaps standing, perhaps not, in the Plaza de Toros de Monumental de Barcelona, el 23 de abril 1916, perhaps. One poster advertises the fight as taking place on Wednesday the 12th of April. In Robert Motherwell's Dada Anthology of Painters and Poets, the location of the fight is listed as Madrid. Nothing is really true. This much is. Fabian Avenarius Lloyd was born in Lausanne in 1887. He was, who cares who? He was, on that Sunday in April, he was 6'1" or 6'4" and 239 pounds. The editor of the scurrilous 5-shot proto-Dada magazine Maintenant, appearing sometimes as Eduard Achinard, Isaac Cravan, W. Cooper, B. Holland, Dorian and Sebastian Hope, Robert Miradik, Roger Pellet, Marie Lawitska, Eva, the Dowager Empress of Iceland, Jonas Berry, Queen Mary, and James M. Hayes, the nephew of Oscar Wilde, probably the great beast. Round 2. In Hay, he writes, I would like to be in Vienna and Calcutta, catching every train and every ship, fornicating with every woman and devouring every dish, socialite, chemist, whore, drunk, musician, worker, painter, acrobat, actor, old, young, swindler, hoodlum, angel and reveller, millionaire, bourgeois, cactus, giraffe or crow, coward, hero, negro, monkey, Don Juan, pimp, lord, peasant, hunter, industrialist, fauna and flora. I am all things, all men, and all animals. He is drunk before he steps into the ring, before Jack Johnson, the Galveston giant, who apuesto a que no puedes comer 7 tacos. I'll bet you cannot eat 7 tacos. Who once wrote, 15 years after his death, Oscar Wilde still lives. Round 3. In colloquial Spanish, hablar más que 7, to talk 19 to the dozen. Hijo de la gran 7, bastard, vulgar. 7, asshole, vulgar. 7, asshole, again. Round 4. I have seen the best poets and boxers of our generation caught in the complete and contemptible whoredom of capitalist society. Jack Johnson, Jack Spicer, almost wrote that he was the world-coloured heavyweight champion. Who was? We must remember to record how the world is fucked up. He was, who cares who he was? A writing which acts as if such information is unimportant is writing which is ignorant of its privilege. For this is the fix. Round 5. After Johnson whops the great white hope Jeffries in Reno on the 4th of July 1910 to become the undisputed world heavyweight champion, in Texas, Colorado, New York, Washington, and many other states, there are white riots and unrest. Round 6. Convicted for transporting a white miner across the state line for immoral purposes, in other words, for having a girlfriend who was white, in contravention of the Mann Act, for the world is fucked up. He skips bail and flees the country. In 1913, for the next 7 years, fights only exhibition fights. Round 7. Everything is bad narrative to a point. Stars, cucumbers. In the poem by Nazim Hikmet, we sit around the table staring at it. We must also remember to record how the world may still sometimes be amazed, thoughtful, optimistic. Round 8. In the film of the fight in the history of the world, A Bead of Sweat, Cravan is best but never described as Mina Loy's husband. Fancy that. Wanted in Switzerland for a jewellery heist and for resisting the draft. For in the picture of the fight in black and white, it is best to imagine everything happens at once or give up. Round 9. Arthur Cravan disappears, drowned, possibly in the Caribbean Sea in a storm in November 1918, on his way to Buenos Aires to meet his heavily pregnant wife. Jack Johnson dies on June the 10th, 1946, in a car crash on US Highway 1 near Franklinton, North Carolina, speeding away in anger after being refused service in a diner. Round 10. Mina Loy gives birth to Fabienne Cravan Lloyd in Hampstead in 1919. I found him handsome, she admits, only at the second glimpse. When asked to recount the best days of her life, she states, out of the ruins of men, only women remain. Round 11. The sun is coming up behind the bullring's blue and white eggs. Among collectors of forged Wildean memorabilia, by the end of the 20s, sightings of Cravan have almost died out. At this point, the author enters the story. Hablar en cristiano peros catalanes. On the corner of Carrer Marina and Carrer de Conservación. Round 12. Adeu, España. It is better to leave the ring horizontal, for only then can we forget how the world is.